Hey guys, Judy Moore here with this handsome bearded collie, Otis. He's 13 weeks old, and his owners say he doesn't come when called. Well, he has his own agenda sometimes, and he's also very visual. So he may do really well with his training in the house, but outside, I think we need a few more tools. So I'm going to give you 3 tips for a consistent recall.
For the past 30 years, I've become a student of animal behavior, mastering humane training methods for problem dogs. I help thousands of clients better understand their dog's responses and improve their dog's skills to bring companionship and joy to dogs and their owners.
Tip number 1 is your voice and your body need to be saying the same thing. So if I say to Otis, Otis come, he might come to me, but that's not very inviting. That's really not very inviting. But if I say, Otis come, and I have a happy pitch, and my body gets down, which is engaging for puppies, now my words and my body are saying the same thing. If I were to say to my videographer, Nate, you're doing a really good job. That's confusing. I say good job, but my body language is telling him something different. Don't confuse your puppy, because if you do, they're going to ignore you. So tip number 1, words, body need to say the same thing. Tip number 2, you need to condition multiple reinforcers. What does that mean? It means that we need to have several cues that stack up. So when this dog comes to us, it's payday. So the first one I'm going to do is the word come. Come, come. So he looks at me, I'm going to click and reward. Come. Otis. By the way, if you want to add the condition reinforcer as the name, we'll put a link to the name game. He already knows his name really well, but that's another condition reinforcer. Otis, come! So you want to make sure that if you're having steak or chicken in the next week, that you save a few tidbits. Come! Yes. Happy pitch, reward. So that's 1. 2, maybe you've got a hand target. Otis. If you condition a hand target, touch. Good boy. His family's done a nice job of conditioning that. Touch. So you see now I'm walking backwards and he's coming into my space for a hand target. What about clapping? You guys ever clap? Clapping gets dogs excited. You can clap and then reinforce. So again, clapping predicts food, come predicts food, hand target predicts food, whistle can predict food. If you have multiple tools that all equal payday, it's kind of like having payday and your year-end bonus all on the same day, right? So you notice I'm feeding low so he doesn't jump. So again, tip number 1, make sure that your voice and your body say the same thing so you don't confuse the puppy. Tip number 2, condition many or multiple reinforcers. Clapping, hand target, come, their name. And the third tip can be probably the most important, is adding movement. You can add movement without saying anything, and a dog will often be like, whoa, that's super exciting. So you can add movement, and that can be really rewarding. So if he were to see a bird over there, my recall would be, I am conditioned to get low and inviting. If I want my dog to come with me, I might move away. Come! And I would add all of the reinforcers together. Because if you think about it, he's a bearded collie, so he's really visual. He might see a bird land over there and think, whew, I'm going at it. You need to have your toolbox stacked up, because if chasing that bird is intrinsically rewarding to him, meaning it's a strong preference, we have to have something that's also going to be equally as rewarding, right, knucklehead? Yes, so that he wants to come into our space. So let me get him settled down here a second. Good boy. So to recap, you're outside training your puppy and you want a consistent recall. Make sure your words and your body are inviting. Tip number 2, condition multiple reinforcers. This week it's going to be the dog's name. Next week it'll be come. Next week it might just be clapping. You might, in class, puppy class, maybe taught a hand target. Those are all conditioned reinforcers that you can stack to add, to increase the consistency of your dog's recall. And the third tip, it really gets most dogs, run the other way. Movement is really exciting for our dogs. So if you add all those together, I think you're going to have a consistent recall. And again, is it going to happen overnight? No. You need to practice, 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 maybe 6 months until your dog consistently knows that when they come into your space, good things happen. He's a good training partner. I think I'm going to take this guy home. Otis, you want to come home with me? Hi, buddy. You're a good boy.
If you want more videos on how to train your dog with easy steps, then click the subscribe button and let's do this together.